Yo, what is going on over there, man? It looks like there's some debris, like, right at the intersection, dude. Just as I'm about to exit Coffee Bean, the next thing you know, I see plenty of debris over there, man. I wonder what's going on. Was that another car crash or something? I can't really tell from up here, as some cars from the other side are currently making a left turn. And yeah, so I don't know what's going on there, man. I better be careful as I go, as I head back to my dump, you know. So please let me go, thank you. I gotta be real careful out here before I even talk. What is going on, dude? So I want to follow the other cars here. Follow this white van and hope for the best. I don't see any nails. So whoa! There's like a container here as well. What the hell's? Oh, I hear a siren. What is going on? Where's the car accident at? Looks like all this debris is falling out. Well, I hope that's taken care of. So I wonder what's in that container, and I wonder how all that stuff just flew out of the car. I mean, like I don't see two cars like colliding with one another, but who knew, man. Anyways, as I move forward, before I get into this topic, let me just get this out of the way for a second. So, in my last video, I talked about, I basically reacted to, Game 2 of my Bird Season Tournament 2025 first round. Although my first half was a much better start than it was, the last game, which was yesterday. I thought that, even after being up by 5, I felt that told me that, as I'm feeling good about my chances, I thought I was going to win, being up by 5. So I thought maybe the game in the second half might be a little more competitive. It might get close, but I mean, for the most part, I felt like I was going to win. But nope, that was not the case. Instead, it was a drastic turnaround for the worse, and yeah, I was just cold throughout and missed too many threes. Ended up being down in double digits by 13, and yeah, man, that was just I don't know what happened. So therefore, I lost. I only lost by 7, but don't let the box score fool you. It was just a pretty atrocious second half of this game. So although I had a much better start, that itself right there, told me I thought I was going to win. But nope, not the case. And I've had games like that before already in the regular season, where I was up big and all of a sudden the lead starts, quickly evaporates, and next thing you know, I either still win or I lose. So yeah, there's no lead that is safe, no matter how big your lead is. It could be 20, it could be 15. Hell, I mean, I think 30 would have been the best bet, but I already had several games like that in the regular season. And well, guess what? This is now my 8th straight home playoff loss. Believe it or not, the last time I won a home game in the Bird Season Tournament overall was the first round of last year, Game 5 on Mercy's birthday, and that was on a Friday. That's hard to believe. So it's already over a year, and I have not won a home playoff game. My God, I have not won a home playoff Bird Season Tournament shit around game since last year. Game 5, the first round. Let that sink in. That's 8 straight, dude. That is very devastating. 8 straight, man. 8 straight at home. That, I mean, is this curse gonna continue? I could have sworn after making 9 threes in yesterday's game, if I did not choke the turnaround jumper, and while the score was already tied, or even the 3-pointer at the buzzer, I would have won that one for sure. That should have that you can argue that's the game that I should have won. But just didn't have it there. I mean, it was a competitive one, and I could have sworn I thought I was going to win that game, but with 9 threes, that should already told you that I was going to win. But nope, not the case. And what is this card doing, man? Stay on your lane. So let me just that's 8 straight is just pathetic, man. 8 straight home playoff losses. Yeah, I gotta fix that when I go back to Heritage Park next week, whenever that will be. So assuming that there's no more unexpected happenings. But anyways, let me get into this topic here. So apparently it's Kriza's birthday today. I know she's my ex, not only my ex close friend, but also my ex competent by heart. It seems like every time I do a shoot around on her birthday, with the exception of, I don't know, of 2022, I've just been really bad on threes. I don't know why, but that's probably goes to show why our friendship just never worked out like that. But, no, I'm just kidding. Nah. So, for the sake of her birthday, I know, look, I already talked about our friendship, and back in July, I know on the 20th, that could have been our 10-year friendship anniversary, but unfortunately, things just roughened and did not work out. In the end, sadly, it's all because of me. But let me just pose this question really quickly, because I'm already gonna go back to my dump. I'm gonna be quick here. So let's see. What if I did not leave social media? If I did not leave social media, assuming this was I'm talking about a year and a half. This was in mid 2018. I'm talking about May, all the way till all of 2019. What if I did not leave for a year and a half, and I was on social media, Facebook and Instagram, right? Do you think I would have a chance to meet Kriza in person? Would the plan be better prepared, so where me and her would finally have met in person later in the year? Believe it or not, I'm gonna say yes. You know why? Because we have communication through Facebook and Instagram. So there would be no communicating in Hangouts, assuming that she's using data. But yeah, if I was on Facebook and Instagram, or more so Facebook, I think that our plan would have been better. It would have worked out a lot better, in my opinion. So that being said, I think I would have a better shot seeing Kriza in person toward the end of 2019. And maybe from there, I'll probably, get my back-to-back of best years, and, that would have been great, considering I never had a back-to-back of best years, my whole life. So that being said, I think I would have had a much better shot if I was to see, Kriza in person, and, if I had stayed on Facebook and Instagram. I know I was back on Instagram shortly. That was I think that was when she came right before she came to LA. So, who knew? I think that if we had talked about it, I know she video called me on the day of her birthday, I think. That was I remember doing a shout out. on, when I was in Echo Echo Park. That was the first time going to Echo Park, by the way. And, you know, I decided to do my shout out there for her birthday. I'll watch it later, again, just for the sake of nostalgia, right? And so, for me, yeah, I thought that, again, I thought I would have a better chance, right? So, to me, I just think that, like, by staying in Facebook and, you know, more so Facebook, I think we would have had planned this a lot better. You know, assuming that I was on every single day. But yeah, I remember we did a video chat. It was just very short because there was like a bathroom problem, and that I had to cut it short. But yeah, I mean, you know, just maybe just maybe we would have had better chance to meet in person. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I think, yeah, but that wasn't the case. I was still out, and we had to use Google Hangouts. But yeah, to me, I think I would have had a better shot, and I think we'll be able to make it happen, and that would have been another best moment in my life since seeing Sarah in person. All right, well, I'm going to leave it at that. That's all I got to say about it. Happy birthday, Kriza. I know we're not friends no more, but all right. Peace.